All right. Let's see, audio. Okay. So last time we did this, there was an echo on the stream. I don't know how, why, where. Hopefully, what I do today, this is going to like fix our issues or something like that. I
Very
think
good.
so.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. See, that's
And we don't like. There's really no way to know until after.
hang on.
Like if there's an echo.
Yeah, it's like having an echo of it, and I'm trying to not, not have an echo of it. I think. Hang on. Ugh. Stupid technology.
Yep.
All right, we'll try this. You guys hear me?
Yep.
You got to speak.
Oh,
I
yes,
said
I
yes.
can hear you. Yes, I heard you. I just said that.
You're just shaking your heads. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
We also said yes. I heard John say yes.
All right, hang on. God damn motherfucker. Ugh, God, could it be any stupid? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be really
Yeah.
stupid.
It can be, for sure.
It can always be worse.
That is true. Are we ready to do this?
Let's go.
I think so.
Let's
Yeah.
do this. All right, I think I fixed it. All right. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank John and Shannon for joining us today. Yes. Little tidbit. Oh, go ahead. Go
Yep.
ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm gonna do it
Sure.
anyway.
Okay.
I re-listened to Mean to Die by Accept
Okay.
this week.
Okay.
I re-listened to it. I did.
Okay. You still hate it?
Okay. I stand by everything that I said, except
Mm.
I would put it in Lawnmower.
Okay.
I would move it up
That's
one.
what I was looking for.
I would move it up one
That's
because
okay.
I think the reason that I had such a great hatred in the moment of it
Okay.
was so it was the fourth of like kind of the new wave, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I felt like they didn't add or do anything different, and it made me really salty. Whereas I feel like the other three, they kind of had like a thing. They were kind of there was enough of kind of a little bit of a difference.
You're going to say that in this. I think this is going to be brought up in this one too. I might be ahead, maybe, because I
Maybe.
felt like that in this one too. That's funny you say that. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
stand by what I said, but I will recant that it is
love
trash.
it.
It's not trash. It is totally listenable.
Yes.
I'm also on a 10-point grading scale now too. So
Ah. What
I can't see anything.
are you putting up there, John? What is that?
Oh, it just so happens that the last album on my list right there is Too Mean to Die from Accept. And I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8. Dude,
So
because I tell you, man, the guitar solos and just like the
It is
drums
groovy.
were
It is
tight,
groovy.
right?
I feel like those 5 really, it's just like a magnum opus for the new singer. Like I really do.
Yeah.
So,
And I thought like when I saw
Oh,
he
he's
goes.
gone.
See?
Yep, he's gone.
There it goes, right there. I know, I'm
Yeah.
done. Am I back?
There you go.
Now, I would also like to
Yep,
say
I'm done
though,
again.
that oh no, John's still talking. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that when I saw that song Overnight Sensation, I thought it was a Motorhead cover from like their Overnight Sensation album back in like '95.
Yeah.
But it is not. It's like about the Kardashians and dumb shit like that. So
Yes, it is.
but yeah, solid album, definitely worth listening to.
Definitely. And also, I would like to throw out there. I believe I only had like two or three albums that were like, this is terrible. Everything else I accept is like totally listened to. It's all good. Enjoy.
Yes.
Like good stuff.
That's-
So I'm
that's
on a
fair.
10-point grading scale now, which I think will better be
For
able
the
to
thing.
tell like what's going on.
Okay.
So I
Well,
have 10 being
yeah.
perfection,
Okay.
5 being average,
Okay.
and then 1 being flaming garbage and totally useless.
Flaming dumpster. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it. Dumpster trash. Yes.
Yes, dumpster fire, straight dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Yes.
Gosh, I wonder how many of these are going to be that.
None, actually. I will tell you right now, 0. Get a 1.
Okay.
One
Zero.
is going to be bad, right? Because
Yeah.
totally useless.
Well,
Like it's
that's
got to
funny.
be
I want to
really
see what
bad
you
to be
guys
totally
say
useless.
because this is not up my alley. This is like totally foreign to me. But hang on, let's get into the sponsor, my brother's fishing site. Want to throw it out there, keeping up with everything, getting fishing lures, so many different ones. I mean, come on,
Yep,
Look at that.
right there.
dude. My brother makes these fishing lures and he sells them. And
That's
like, I'm telling you, everybody's always getting something on it. So go to his site. It'll be in the description down below. Please support and everything. And every time he makes a sale, he puts $1 towards multiple sclerosis for my dad. So for the research and everything and stuff like that. So it's very important to both of us. So
Yep.
I don't think you've ever seen this, Shannon. This is my dad. That's my dad. He passed away in March.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So he had multiple sclerosis for over 30 years. Fucking cancer got him, of all things. Yeah, tell me about it. But he, this is in his memory. Me doing all this stuff is in his memory too. I mean, my dad, I would be who I am. This is me. I am my dad. Stuff like that. So big things.
You got to get some of those nice aviators.
I used to have a Hawaiian shirt too. I have aviators over here. So I am with you on that one. So
And
all right.
and honestly, that is that's close to my heart too, the MS, because our grandfather had that too for quite some time in his life too. So
Yeah. It's a pretty, you got different stages of it. My dad pretty much had stage 4. Started at the toes and worked its way up, and he was bedridden. Still had a good sense of humor. So you might be dying, but you at least be funny about it.
Yeah.
That's the way my dad was like, I might be dying, but I'm gonna be funny.
They always do.
Yeah.
That's my grandfather was the same way, man.
Well, we're gonna get into a Finland band. Him. The only reason I know this band is because of Band Margera. That's the only reason I know about this band.
Yep,
So popular when I was in high school.
Really?
So popular. Mm. I actually had not listened. Oh, this is going to kill me. I had not listened to a whole bunch of him myself. Probably songs here and there, but this is the first time I've ever like really listened.
Really?
So.
Yeah.
Dove right in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they started in 91. I'm like, really? Well, they went through a thing. They're from Finland. They're a goth rock band. I'm like, goth rock. I'm like, interesting. All right. I knew who they were, but I never really listening to them until, last week. So.
Till last week.
Till last week. What's funny is that I saw the album covers look very familiar to me because of seeing them on different things and whatever, you know what I mean? And being with that, I was just like, all right, this is pretty cool, blah, blah, blah. That spelled right? Oh, look at that. I spelled it right.
Oh, you got it. How about it?
Yeah. There we go. Dumpster trash.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, this is one of those bands. It's way out of my wheelhouse, and it sounds like it's in your wheelhouse. Like this is your forte.
Heard of them. I don't know that I would
Okay.
call it my forte.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, who wants to go first today? Who wants to go first?
I went first last time.
Ooh, John, it's your turn.
Yep, I got it.
Yes.
I'll go.
Do we all listen to the albums?
I listened to every single one of them.
Look
Every
at
single
you.
one.
Homework done. You all get A's. Look at that. Oh, I got to bring up mine. Son of a bitch. I'm the host and talking my head off. All right. Which one? I need music on this.
I know you need a little.
Yeah.
It does have that. I could turn that on. You got, I think, Dying Light.
Dark light.
Dark light.
Dark light.
Sure. Yes.
Sure.
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 Bitch. All right.
I mean,
Dark Light.
I didn't hate it.
Okay, fair enough.
It starts out good for me. Like
a lot of their albums start pretty good, I feel like. Some of them, most of the time, they do.
Yes.
So,
I would say the majority, yeah.
It started out good. The middle just, I got lost in the middle. I don't even know how to.
So I notice sometimes when we listen to these albums and we listen to multiples in one day, I feel like sometimes they get very blended together. Do you ever notice that sometimes?
Yeah, for sure.
So I literally wrote on here, this is my lowest rated album of them. And I said,
oh, really?
Is the fucking repeat song button on? Like, I legitimately thought that I checked my phone multiple times. Like, did I put I have heard this song literally today on this album.
I
mean,
what did you rank it as, John?
I gave it a 6.
Wow. You gave it a 2?
2.
Holy, you know what I did? Okay, was there anything else? Was there anything else on that album, John, that you wrote or anything?
I didn't skip any songs.
That is very important. I believe in that too. I believe if you don't skip any, it's at least listenable to get to the next one. There's a couple of them I've done that throughout this whole 12 episodes, 11 episodes. I'm like, oh, this is Eat the Heat. That's one that was like right on. I just could not finish it. I couldn't. That was the one.
That was
my mom didn't raise no quitter.
Fair enough. But you gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2.
What was so bad?
I was so bored. And I seriously thought, like, I am not over exaggerating when I say I was looking at my phone, like, did I put the repeat button on? Is the repeat song button on? I could not wait for this album to be over. I could not wait.
I gave it an 8.5. I gave it you gotta remember, this is not in my wheelhouse. Like, this is far and few between in what I listen to. So, like, when I get opportunities to listen to like this band in like New York, like Smashing Pumpkins, I maybe listen to a couple songs, but like that's kind of the point of this is the open. I'm trying to do this. I wrote it. I liked how they go from the light to the heavy riffs in the songs. I feel like they can play that pretty good. And I wrote the vocals are more pronounced as they should be. Like they're in the forefront, like him using it instead of the old stuff where he was very like in the box type of thing. Like they held back. Listen, he's really they put him out there a lot more on this album. I feel like you could hear him better. You can hear what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I
And
think that's a production thing, though.
very much,
Right?
and
Like,
yes, it
Yeah,
can
I
be.
feel like I feel like there was more production.
Sure.
I mean, even though this is like 2005,
Yeah, and
there were
um,
more production things and maybe
that
more
was
experimentation.
this album to the date of like up to, let's say, forget about Venus and Scream and Tears, the last three. That was their best selling album out of the first. Like up to that point, that was their best selling. They made top 10. I was like, I've never heard of this album. Like I just never. And one thing I do notice with this band, the band jamming is simple and to the point. They are very niche, nothing out of the ordinary from them.
They stay in their lane.
They do. I will honestly say I could probably play to all these tracks almost. I'm not a good drummer either.
well, right.
Just
Everything they
saying.
do, right? So everything they do is like, yeah, really simple.
But it
And-
shows that the vocals are, this is the band, the vocals are,
That's the most interesting thing about this band is Valor.
it is.
Like
You're
his
right.
vocals are the most interesting thing.
He is
It's
the
not enough.
front man. They use his, I mean, look at every album almost. He's on the cover. Like he's glitz and glamorized as, it says goth rock. You might as well say it's glam rock with it too, to a certain point, with his presence. Yeah, you look like you want to slit your wrist every day. I mean, cool, whatever. You know, if you want color in your life, I guess you want red. I don't know.
So and here's why. Here's why I say like these albums aren't useless, right? Why it wouldn't get a 1? Because
you gave it a 2.
I gave it 2, but it's not useless. It's not useless
It's
because
not like you wiped your butt with it. That's what it sounds like to me.
I would not listen to it again if I have my choice.
Okay.
But what this is and how this is, I think, beneficial is it's like gateway metal. Right? It's like you have your heart sick teenagers that they just nobody cares about them, right? And you're like, hey, you like to listen to this music? Maybe try something like that's good, like this.
You know,
so it's
that
like
is
it's gateway
good
metal,
point.
I would say.
It is.
Right?
But John,
it's
is
very
this lawnmower? Is this a lawnmower to you or a C?
So I thought like lawnmower was C, but maybe I'm
Well, it can be.
mistaken on that.
We can take C out right now if you want.
It's a very good in the background. If you're
So it is a lawnmower. It is. Is it a lawnmower to you? It sounds like it's a dumpster fire for you.
I mean, also to be fair though, well, yeah,
not
for me it
everything.
is.
Not everything can be in the dumpster
But
fire
I can,
category.
right? Not everything can be there. And now I do think with it being like with lawnmower being it's on in the background, I'm not really listening to it. Sure, fine.
Yeah.
I don't fully disagree with that.
Okay. I was not expecting it too. I was quite so leading into that album. It was actually a lot better. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, because everything. I don't want to give it away, but I was like, okay, this is promising. Later in their careers, this is an album that I felt like they kind of took a chance at stuff, or they decided to change a little bit of the element to me.
I don't think we're ever going to agree on anything.
And that's why
you go next. I'll go next.
I was going to say I could go next. That's fine.
I'll go next. Since you went first last time, you go last this time.
I get to go last now.
Yes. 2. Holy
Bill has
shit.
spoken.
I love your
I told you what my
your
grading
honesty.
scale was. 5 is
I love
average.
your honesty. I'm dead. I love it. I think it's great. This is great. Yes. Oh, is this the very first one? Yeah, I think that's greatest love songs. Ooh, ooh, did it. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
What
No,
the? Okay. I was
it
like,
goes.
what?
That Razorblade? Yeah, I think that's Razorblade.
No, is it?
I
No,
don't
Deep
know.
Shadows. That's Deep Shadows. Um, I'll say for Deep Shadows, I gave it a 7. Um, it's good rock songs halfway. Like half of it's good rock, but songs were too sappy for me. I still gave it a 7. It was borderline between 6 and 7. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 6. I changed my mind. I'm giving it a 6 right now. Because I'll tell you what, when you write sappy songs, you did it on purpose. You purposely want to make that radio essence. All the girls, you're right about this. All the girls were, you know, him and like a lot of that new metal ish Chevelle type of. This was during that time. They kind of blended in with it, and I'll be honest, I am. See, I didn't care. I listened to it. I didn't skip. I didn't feel like I needed to skip, but it was just too sappy. Too. No, man. What
Oh,
happened?
I skipped.
Is that the one you skipped?
The one I skipped?
Uh-oh.
Well,
Oh, skipping songs or skipping whole albums?
skipped. I've heard skip. That's the name of that category. Skipped.
Skips.
Thanks, John.
Hey, no problem, dude. Yeah, no, I don't know I only skipped one song, and it was that
Okay.
Beautiful, where he just kept whining like near the end of it. I was like, fuck this, and next.
I love it.
And I mean, it like again, it seemed too to me that like again the band was tight in their playing because it was simple.
Yeah.
But his vocals did not. There was no. He sang the same through every like. It didn't matter if it was like supposed to be like a upbeat song, or I'm in love with the girl that doesn't love me, and it was the same. Like there was no variation.
None.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.
Wow. Okay. Maybe
These
I was
ratings are
too nice.
these ratings are harsh, dude.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 3 because yes, everything sounds the same. That would have put it kind of in like a 2-ish range. But
Sure.
they tried things. The things didn't work, but they
Sure.
tried stuff. So like I mean, all of the songs are wildly inconsistent in the stuff. Like again, like they were trying stuff. So like the first oh actually I don't know if it's the first song, but Salt in Our Wounds.
Yeah, I think
It
that
has
was,
a weird beginning where they have like a twangy guitar, like we're in a western.
Yep. I noticed
But
that.
then later, in that same song, you get some of that rock guitar, that very like commercial pop rock kind of thing.
Strumming. Yeah. The simple riffs, simple beats.
Your generic guitar, your drum beats, uninteresting,
Yeah.
but okay. And then you get to like, in Please Don't Go, you have another weird twangy guitar, but it's not like a Western twangy guitar. It's more like an Amazon twangy guitar. So I'm like,
Too much in cooks in the, like it is too much in a pot.
yes,
You're trying to cook too much, and when you listen to the first album or the second one, it's like, okay, you had this idea, you guys are hitting it now. I guess the third album
Right,
will do something different. See what happens. We're riding this huge wave. What could happen?
yeah. And then the Don't Close Your Heart, they had that like that weird like twinkly piano going on. So
I
it's
noticed
just,
the sprinkles of pianos are graters. It's greater in a lot of these albums here.
Yeah.
I noticed too, which is fine. I'm okay with piano, but it's like it's one of those instruments that you have to like the twangy guitar, you have to pick certain things that it has to work with, and it didn't. It just
And
wouldn't
and like
work.
embellish what we're going for.
Yeah. Dream Theater, I hate to be a nerd, they are really kings of putting that stuff in the locations that is just precise. And you're like, makes
Well,
total sense,
If that weren't there, this would not be the same song.
right?
Well, that's because Jordan Rudess is a freaking genius. So.
I think because they established it early, though. A lot of these bands try to bring elements into later in their careers to reinvigorate. It's kind of like Accept. They started with the heavy metal part, then they got thrashier and heavier and thrashier and heavy, and they were able to keep that lane but broad it out and keep it. You got this band is just trying to do this. I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing, but your bread and butter is the singer. Like,
Yeah.
why I'm making music for myself. Whatever, motherfucker. Fuck you. You telling me that shit. Yeah, exactly. And they were kings of, they're from Finland. They were Bam Margera. They were you know,
top of the charts, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. So it's like,
you couldn't walk into Hot Topic without there being cardigans everywhere.
That's true.
That is a cool symbol, though. That was smart.
It is very cool.
It is very smart.
Not so much anymore when you go into Hot Topic, but now it's more.
I'm over going there.
Now it's more anime stuff. You know, that's the big thing now.
I do love me some anime.
I think it's Razorblade. Yeah, I think it's Razorblade.
Oh boy.
Ah boy. What are we?
Boy, here we go.
What are we doing for Razorblade? What is? Let's see. What did you say?
3 out of 10. I would put it. I'd put it in skip probably, or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
With, I was bored for this one as well. They did try to throw in like some kind of grungy guitar. That was new. But it felt like thrown in, where they're like, we got to do something. Here it goes. We'll just, why not?
Now the question to both of you: did you listen to these in order?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like a lot of times that's important too, because of what you want to hear for the debut album. You're like, okay, this is the second album. What do they bring into the table? And you're right, they did throw something in a little bit. You know.
And I think though, so I don't want to get into the first album, but in that first album, they had these kind of like slow, kind of haunting, like vibe that they seemed like they were going for, which is completely gone in this album.
Who's that remind you of, John? Haunting, goth.
So the first album, if we're going to get into it, but I put Typo Negative.
They're Typo Negative when they started. They were moody. His voice sounded like Peter Steele, the very first album from him. I put Typo Negative as one of my points of the album. Typo Negative. I'm like, oh my God, did they get Peter Steele before he died to like sing on this album? Like, I really thought it was him. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hang on.
Yeah, I was going to say, so anyway, 3 out of 10.
Okay.
One Last Time, that song, I think that was the last song on the album.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep, One Last Time. Yep, that was good.
Song
I like that one.
So like just drenched in syrup and sugar, like it made my teeth hurt.
So
like it was awful. So bad. Why would you end your album with that song?
And so I had like, it seemed to me like throughout there was like this Romeo and Juliet kind of theme to this album.
Okay. I didn't get that. Yeah, okay.
I could have been
It was telling a
division a little
story.
bit.
It feels like a lot
Yeah.
of these albums are a story either with him and his relationship or like a story of people, you know, just wanting to
And-
die. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I also felt like they were trying to get like that they were in that typo negative lane, but they're like, hey, you know what else is cool that we like? We like The Cure, so we're gonna try to bring The Cure into here too and mix that. And then I've got this like, what the fuck with electronics? And I can't remember the song. There
They have
was
no
some
idea what they're doing
weird
with them.
there was like just some weird breakdown shit stuff, and I was like, what are we doing? This was also another 4. I also gave this a 4.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.5. I gave it an 8.5.
Wow.
So I said more of a rock album. Like it was better than the first one. It had more balls to it. Like I felt like it was something to it. The singer has different dynamics to the vocals, which he was showing more of his capability instead of just the typo negative singing. And, you know, he had range, which I'd never heard. You heard sporadics from the first. And the pacing of the album sounded pretty good to me too, going from front to end. It's not, you know, you're like, man, that song should have been on the first track or something like that. So I gave it 8.5. Man, I must have been in a good mood when I'm giving this shit out. I don't rate albums really low, as you can tell. Maybe 7s is my lowest or 6s, but like there's only one album or two I went below that, which was Black Flag, one of the Black Flags, and except I did a 4. I don't know. I just 8.5, but it didn't skip. But here's the question: is that album better than Shadows? Do you think Razorblade is better than Shadows? It doesn't matter, does it?
I don't think it
It doesn't
matters.
matter.
I don't think it matters. They both
I
got 3
feel
out of
like
10
they're
for
pretty
me.
interchangeable.
Okay.
Yeah, like they both got 3 out of 10 for me.
These two albums you could listen to, but you got to skip some of the songs. That's what I'm getting about these albums from you.
Pick the hits, you know, from the songs. Listen to those. Throw that in your 8-hour pool mix.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of.
Really, you had to pull that out?
That's pretty good.
Just because my pool mix happens to be 8 hours long and covers about 5 decades worth of music.
To be fair, as it should be though, because if I'm at a party where the same playlist is played, I should not hear the same songs
That's true.
both times.
It better be Van Halen on that motherfucker too, and the Eagles and Pink Floyd and all this classic fucking shit that the pool
that's a
everybody
pool mix,
can listen to.
Classic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Eagles, all that stuff, the good stuff, the proud stuff.
I will have to reassess my pool list.
Oh, you hear? I turned the ticking one. I'll turn it up next. I'll turn it
I
up.
got nothing. I got nothing on
Maybe
my
it's on my end.
I'm clicking my pen for it.
Let me see.
That's way too fast. It's way too many.
Way too many.
clicks.
I know. I'm caffeine. Scream Works.
Scream Works.
John, it is on you for Scream Works.
Yeah. I'm gonna borrow one of Shannon's phrases. I was really bored on this album.
Dude, I was too.
Totally. I feel like what they had done with like the previous 3 albums.
Yeah.
They tried to do that, and then they also tried to do something else.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
And it didn't work. It didn't work. And I think I knocked out for a couple of songs, so that's just as good as skipping.
Skipping it is. I see a trend here. What did you give it for a rating? What's the rating for it?
I gave it a 4.5, and that was only because maybe the two songs that I slept through might have actually been good.
Fair enough.
So this is actually my highest rated album
Really.
at 5 out of 10, which is average. And I literally have no other notes for it. I just have rating 5 out of 10.
But you know what?
So
That's
which
good
means-
enough.
But what that does mean is there's literally nothing there's nothing to say about this album. It
Yeah.
is average as all get out.
It was hard for me to
It's
pull that
just-
out. But yeah.
I gave it a 5 also. I wanted to give it higher. Like I don't like giving below 6s to 7s, but this one I wrote it's too poppy. It sounds too poppy for me. Poppy music. Songs are good, but not using his range like the previous albums. His vocals were very limited or not utilized like they were trying to do. Because spoiler, the last album to this one is night and day to me. Venus is
Yep.
night and day. And I do say this is one of those thoughts that come to my brain a lot of times when I listen to albums like these. It feels safe as an album, no stretching the course of trying something different. They made a safe album to make money. To me, it seems like it was. It was safe. Not to make money. It was a safe album commercially.
But all of their albums are that way. Literally all of them. Whereas I feel like
That is very true.
I
But
feel
this
like
is really
this
safe.
one but I don't know. Like safe, yes, but I also feel like they deviated from the stuff they did that was making them really popular. So I would almost argue that they went unsafe. Does that make sense? Because like the stuff that was like that was selling, that was top of the charts, that everybody was loving, they did not quite do that with this album. They did something different. So their major fan base.
Yeah. This is their, again, trying something. They tried so much. It is missing a lot. They miss a lot of what they did.
do.
Yeah.
No wonder they're not together anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if
offense.
it was this one but just like, so for me overall, it just seems like if they had a different singer, or if he was in another band that was not as safe, it would be different and maybe better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is it like?
I was about to
like-
argue with you, but I think we're going to argue the same point.
Because it seems like
It's on your vocalist.
he doesn't, like, his vocals don't fit the music.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes
Sometimes-
it doesn't.
Sometimes it does, but I think for the most part, his vocals do not fit the music.
It's kind of weird for me because sometimes albums I'm like, man, he really sounds great and the music is really, really good with it. And then you get something like this, I'm like, did you guys even record it together? It just sounds like it's separate. Like, I'll be honest, if you put it in Dumpster, I totally understand. Like, it's one of those, but it's one of those albums I can still pick songs. I can still, pick out. And this was made in 2009. Like, I can understand if you did this, like, start of your career, figuring out who you are. But this is 6 albums deep almost. You're like, what the hell is this shit? I'd be pissed if I was a record company. I would be pissed. I'm like, what is this shit?
What is this, guys? What are you trying to do? The Beatles?
Go do your own stuff somewhere else. It seems like
Well,
it's a different band to me.
Was
Like
this
a
the
totally different
one?
band.
Was this the album that they were also doing like a side project that
I
it
don't
came out
know.
at the same time.
Maybe.
I don't know that
Because I
much.
feel-
Like,
Because I was trying to do a little bit of extra credit and read up on it, and I feel like like they
I
so
appreciate
the
that.
so the singer and some other dudes were doing like a side project thing, and he was the singer actually ended up playing drums in this other band, and
Really?
yeah, but they were still doing. I think they did this Screamworks at the same time, and then that's when that other the one after it that's like a remix, the SWRMX or whatever that thing is that no one
Yeah.
listened to.
Uh,
I think that was a thing, but
yeah.
don't quote me on that because
I'm not. They're-
Yeah,
Everybody
send
get
your-
mad. Get mad.
get mad at me. Send them to him. He'll forward them to me.
Yeah,
I will.
Put it in the
and I will
comments.
put them in the comments, and then I won't care either way. But get it off your chest, keyboard
Get it
warrior.
off. That's right. All right. Oh, it's my turn. Is it my turn?
I don't know. I was thinking about, we
I
lose
don't
track.
know.
We
I
really
do
need to be like,
too. See, everybody did their homework. Normally, I'm like, okay, I get these, you get those. It's like, okay, you get those. When it comes to that, we'll just play around, do it that way. I think everybody did their homework. Now it's harder to do. Is that tears? Oh
Ready?
man.
yeah,
Yeah, tears.
Tears on tape.
Tears. This is their last album. This is them breaking up.
This is their farewell.
Farewell. And I gave it a 7. It was not bad, maybe a 6, 7. It's still too poppy and safe to me. Like they still kind of just no originality. It's just they just played simple stuff to keep it to make an album. I will say their song, if you listen to it, the best song on the album is those acronyms WLSTD. I wrote, if they based a whole album on that song and tried to duplicate almost everything, it'd be the best album they ever fucking did. That was one of their best songs I have ever heard from them. And it was great. It was heavy and like the whole CD to me was a 5 until I got to that song. I was like, okay, this is really good. So I will say it goes to Skipped is very close to Dumpster for me. Really close. I'll say Skipped, but I gave it a 7, maybe 6.5, 6, like in between that. So
I didn't give it a rating because I just didn't.
okay.
I wrote they found a way to make heavy not heavy.
Wow, that's the statement of the year. Wow. Okay.
Like just
They only had one heavy song on that album. It was that one that I said.
yeah,
That's
one,
the only one.
Just,
You know what? We're gonna put it in Dumpster. We'll put it there. You just I can't
didn't they
song on a fucking album. You know what I mean? It's not.
again they stayed in their lane, but it.
I
I
can
don't
see
know,
why
they
they broke
that
up.
thing.
I
They just
really
did that
can't.
thing where they try to grab you with like, here's a heavy riff for like 13 seconds, and then we're gonna go
Thank
back
you.
to this clean
Cheesy.
guitar sound and whatever. And yeah, it makes you want
That
to
really
drink
pissed me off.
more.
Yes. Poor guy. What did you think about it?
About the same. I'm bored. 4 out of 10.
Bored. I know. I'll tell you what. When he hits Venus Doom, after that, it's all bored. Those
It's
two
a
right
great
there. It's
Yeah.
boring. I'm telling you, go back to listen to that acronym. It's a really good song. I was really, but I can't rate an album by one song. So it is a dumpster fire. It is horrendous. I think it's sad that that's their last album. Venus Doom to me is their best album. If they would have left on that CD and nothing
On that
more,
note?
they would have left on a high note to me. To me, they're tarnishing their legacy with these two albums. Man, that's really harsh, isn't it? So,
Yeah. Wow.
fuck, can make me slip my wrist. Son of a bitch.
So sad.
But, yeah. It's sad.
Yes, very sad.
Very sad. Win. Put a heart on a star. Whatever. Are you Jewish? Jeez. All right, Johnny boy. It's your last one. You're going to get love metal. No, it's slowing down. Are you going to get the very first one?
Very first one.
I think you are.
Yep.
Greatest love songs. Debut album.
Again, it's another one. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It was listenable.
Sure.
I thought the Wicked Game cover was really good.
Very surprising. Very surprising.
It surprised me.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the one song I did skip was "Don't Fear the Reaper." I could not.
I wrote the cover is bad.
No, the covers
It
are
is.
the best part of this album. Okay.
I could not get. I gave it as much as I could give it, and I couldn't. I was just like, nope.
The Isaac one, super good.
Super good.
Man, that was really, dude. If they could pick a song, that was brilliant of them.
That was a
to
good.
pick
That was a good. That was a good
But
choice.
Blue Oyster Cult,
Needs
I
more cowbell, but okay. I wanted to hate "Don't Fear the Reaper." I was like, how dare you? Blue Oyster
Yes.
Cult has nothing else but this song.
What?
How dare
Yes.
you?
Oh, whoa, hold on now.
Okay,
is
that's the only
not-
song I know, to be fair. That's literally the only song of theirs I know. Okay.
Are they on the list?
Yes.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah.
So
I
you
will be
learn.
educated.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna
Yes.
learn some stuff.
We're gonna learn today. Okay. Gonna learn tonight.
So
Alright.
I liked the slowing down of it. I thought it brought in that kind of haunting quality that whole first album was trying to do,
Which they did very well.
They did
which
very
I
well.
liked a lot. And then at like 4 minutes, I was like, oh, now the song is too long.
It is a long song.
Now it's too long.
That's
If they cut it right, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, about 4 minutes in,
Yeah.
like you would have me.
Really?
I would love this song. I think.
I think I gave it about a minute and a half and I was done.
I did too. I tried. I was like,
I think it
No,
was
because I raged for the first like minute, right? How dare you? You can't do this. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay,
Ah.
you know what? This is kind of good. I like what you're doing here. I appreciate it. And then you lost me again.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the chick's vocals on there, at least I hope it was a lady.
I do believe it was a chick. Yes, I believe
We'll
so.
go with that. Yes.
Yeah, I heard like the second go through of hearing her sing was that was enough for me.
But what about the album though?
The album, like I say, as soon as I heard, let's see, what is the very first song on here?
For You or the Sweet 666?
Oh, the Sweet 66, yeah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, here, we're listening to Typo Negative Jr. And
It is, yeah. And
I was like,
did you
okay, let's
notice?
see where this goes.
Did you notice a little Danzig kind of in there too? A little bit of Danzig. I felt like what he was trying to do. Might have been a
little bit of
stretch,
that.
but
yeah.
to me, I felt that's why I wrote Typo and Danzig he had a mixture at that time You know what I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah.
Yardley,
Yeah.
Yardle.
Yard.
Yeah.
Again, I
What was
was
your
hard.
rating?
I
What did you give it?
I was harsh on it. I gave it a 4.
You gave it a
Same.
4 too. I gave it an 8. I wrote it was a great debut. A lot of these newer bands that are coming out in the 90s, late 90s, 200s, I feel like production made a lot of these debut albums so much better because of technology. And
Sure.
it's one of those things now, if you don't have a good sounding first album, you're not getting anywhere anymore.
Mm.
You know, I wrote the singer with the typo negative and band. I I feel like the band, when you hear the band, everybody has a great rhythm to what they feel like they've been playing for a really, really long time. Not, oh, it's been 2 years and we're doing a debut album. It was like you could tell they've been 5, 6 years together, but it's that simple. They understood when they started the band, okay, Vile's going to be the front man, and that is 90% of the band, and we'll just play in the background. We'll be the lounge guys in the back, nothing fancy, nothing frivolous, you know, and Vile, go sing your little heart out with the black
Sing your song. We'll
whatever.
be the magic tones in the back.
That's right. The aristocrats. But where's this lie in the list? It sounds like it's a dumpster to you, but it's more of a skip. A lot of skips here.
It's not. I mean, again, just because again, the one, just don't fear the Reaper. Again, how dare you do that?
Sure.
Honestly, it wasn't bad. I was harsh with because I was half asleep
You
when I
gave it
listened
a
to it.
4, dude. You're telling me half the album
Deservedly.
is terrible. Like, if you think about it, if you have 10 songs, you give it a 5, it's 50% sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's one of
yeah.
those.
Interesting way to think of the rating.
To me, if you have 15 songs and I like 7 out of that's 50%. That's a 5. That's a 6, maybe, to me. You know,
See now I argue that my ratings aren't harsh enough.
but you're looking as the overall.
I look
You
overall,
too.
yeah, over the
Yeah,
album
I
overall.
sometimes I do that, and sometimes it's like if I could listen to every song, you at least get a 6 from me. You know what I mean? It's like if I got to skip, then we're going from a 6 and we're starting to go down. 6 is the starting point. It's like production, okay, a 7, vocals, an 8, band, 9, and it kind of works its way for me.
Okay.
That's how I do it. Like I always thought a perfect album, I don't skip it. I listen to every song and like I can just let it play through. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. There's only a couple I can do that to. Like, you know, here and back in the day and blah blah blah, you know. That's purists, I guess. I don't know how you would call it, but you know, it's I don't know. This is what I do. Now, being with this list, we don't have to do 3 in each category. We can. I say if we put 10 in one category, we put 10 in one category. Whatever. It sounds like you put this in skipped or lawnmower.
I would say it's definitely a lawnmower album for
Okay.
me.
Now, is it better than Dark? Or do you feel like Dark's a little bit better than that?
I think Dark Light's a little better.
Okay. I do. Oh.
Darklight is so boring. This is inconsistent. It's like unpolished, but it's interesting.
Okay.
Darklight is not interesting.
The only reason I like Dark is the riffs. Because leading up to Dark, all the riffs were very light and strummy. When you got to Dark, you're like, oh, they can put a tuning lower. they're a little chugging. They can go instead of being E flat, it's like a little bit of D. You're like, oh, E flat, D, drop D. Oh,
What? You know other chords?
what?
Shit.
Other tunings?
What?
You know, I guess I'm in favor of that too. Dark has a step ahead, but I mean, if you listen to Lawnmower, you got the fourth album to the first one. They're pretty close. That's not bad. It's pretty good. I think so. You know, so I'm in favor of In Front of Dark too. I think that's. I love you're on this show, Jen. I love you're on this show. I really do. Because me and John are like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. We agree. Like, we disagree on a lot of stuff. And this one's a little different, though. I don't agree in some aspects. So that's good. But I love that you're here. It's a different point of view, you know?
Trying to mix it up.
Yes. Oh, you get Venus Doom? Venus Doom.
Venus Doom.
Venus Doom.
This was another 5 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
So, based on the other albums and how they are, I would have to put it above Darklight and Lawnmower.
Okay. Are we saying A or in Lawnmower?
No, it's still in Lawnmower. Oh, it's
Okay.
still Lawnmower. Yeah,
But it's close. Is it close to A?
No.
Like, is it close? No.
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 And the big thing for me, I think the songs would have benefited from being about 2 minutes shorter. I think the songs were entirely too long.
Huh.
And I
Okay.
say that as a Dream Theater lover.
That is very unusual.
So to have a song where like I'm in the song and I'm like, is this over yet? No,
You have an issue where a song doesn't take you to a different place.
I got
an issue.
Yes.
It stays in the same lane. It doesn't take you to a different place in your mind.
Yes.
It's like watching a movie with Dream Theater.
Right. So if you have a 6 minute song, like you got to get me there. 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, if it sounds the same, I'm bored. You got like 3 to 4 minutes.
Here.
3 to 4 minutes to tell your story or make it different to keep my attention. I'm like, are we done yet? Did we do the thing? What's going on?
10 miles, but it's straight ahead. There's no peaks or valleys. It's a straight 10 mile. Like, we just drove this. It's the same fucking place.
Yep. Didn't we pass that tree? I'm pretty sure.
So you gave it a 5 out of 10.
I did give it a 5 out of 10. I thought it was average. Okay. Like, you put it on in the background, you forget about it. It's fine.
Okay.
When you John, didn't I listen to this song? You probably did, but it's okay.
That's okay.
It's fine. Whatever.
What do you give it?
So I gave it a 7.
Okay. All right.
And I will say that is the highest rating out of.
So this is your favorite album from them?
It's up there.
It's up there.
It's not the only 7 I gave.
What is it? Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Is it now?
So I said it was the it was still heavy from like the previous 2, with like the chugging. And again, they were doing this thing. I would have rated it higher, but they did the thing with like, I'm gonna grab you in with this heavy chugging riff, and then I'm gonna just slam the brakes, and we're gonna go right back to safe.
Get up here, and then you bring you down here.
And
you had me here, and you made me nosedive.
And I said, and I had like, I wrote 10-minute song with an exclamation point, and I think that was Sleepwalk Past Hope or something.
Yes, I noticed that too. I was kind of impressed that they were able to write a 10-minute.
I did too, because I was like, 10 minutes long, wow.
Yeah.
And this is where I think he started, at least to me, he was doing more vocal things.
Yeah,
with range, like with different range and maybe a little more vocal effects or something.
Sure.
More production things.
So you gave it a 7, and you gave it a 5. Okay. I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. This was my favorite album from them. favorite album out of the
So
whole group.
we all agree on that part at least.
That is true.
You're just way too generous with your numbers. That's a
Well,
90%. That is an
I-
A.
I'll tell you what. I almost listened to this again. I listened to
No,
all
life
these
is
albums
too
one
short.
time.
Life is too short to listen to any of these albums twice.
Well, I
wanted
also,
to. I wanted to. That was my plan. I was like, I'm gonna listen to everything twice, and it's gonna be. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Life is too short.
so
Life is too short.
except this is the first group I didn't listen to any album twice. Every group I listened to for this show, I listened to her album twice to really immerse myself in it. I'm
That
you
was
know, I'm
my
getting it.
plan. That was my plan.
I
I
think
was
you
like,
would
I'm gonna do
this.
it, and then
But
I
it-
heard, and I life is too short.
No.
It's too short to.
Well, I wrote the riffs are there and they're tuned like the heaviest I've ever heard from them. This is their heaviest tuning, which is to me, I even wrote, and I quote, dare to say, is there doom metal in these songs? I felt like there was some like doom sludgy like riffs in it. I was like,
and I feel like, again, being the more metalhead guy that I am, if they would have kept that heaviness and not slammed the brakes off and then went to safety,
yeah.
And let
may have-
Vallow do weird whatever vocal things he was doing.
I think it would have
Like
Like
been.
in that first album, like let him
I
do
think
that.
I think, like, again,
This
that's
has been
still
good.
their core fans, but that might have brought some other people in,
I think so
and it could
too.
have changed their dynamic a
Merge
little
them.
bit.
Merge.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Coexist.
saying. Do right, like do that heavy grungy guitar, and also let Vallow do his crazy weird vocal things.
When you talked about that song Sleepwalking, I wrote about the progressive elements in that song. And I wrote, this is the most I've wrote in, any of theirs. What I enjoyed the most out of this album, which I feel like they should have stuck to this, is variety. When you have your goth rock and then your progressive one or two songs, you got your doom sludgy songs. I feel like you kind of appeal to a lot of things, and it makes the album very twists and turns. I love those type of albums. It just you feel like you're going through hills and valleys with this song. That's why I like this album. I feel like I was just doing this. I'm like, it wasn't boring to me. A lot of these songs are boring as hell, but I can appreciate it. This was not a boring album.
Nope.
I loved it. But I gave it a 9. I truly believe this is their best album. And actually, by numbers, this is their best album. This is the best album they sold. This is the number 10, top 10 in Billboard when it came out.
Huh.
It's a very important album to them.
Yep, in the U.S. charts, wasn't it?
Correct. A lot of people liked it. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said,
Yeah.
with the heaviness and solos, and I don't know if that was.
Dude, the solos, man, I'll tell you what, they are pretty good. Whoever's doing the solos, they are picking their solo parts and they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I want. It's like, man, you did such a good job, but they played it smart. Use one or two songs. Not every song has to have a fucking solo.
Yep.
That's-
They put it in. They actually, that's where they did it right, where they put the
Yes.
thing in the right spot at the right time.
That album was, I wish I could get more or something like that. I really do.
Yeah, if they did that album with the initials song on the last one,
Yes.
and do stuff like that.
That's
that
what
would-
it is. That's exactly it. That song is the extension of that album.
Yep, keep exploring this idea.
Yes. Not anymore. They're gone.
Yep, they've been done since
2017.
2017. Yep.
They're
Yep.
gone. But that brings us to the last album. Yes,
Unless unless as things as we have talked off of the internet, things,
Yes,
things happen after this show. So who knows?
it does. I'm telling you. So I sent John a text message. What, Monday? Was it
was
Monday or
Monday, yeah.
Monday? Except the band is
Yeah.
putting out. They're in next year doing a big tour. I'm like,
Yep.
you were just talking about it.
I got the Spotify notification. Do you want to buy tickets? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm
okay.
telling you, Dream Theater, I'm telling you, that came back, and it's like, I'm not saying we got special powers, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty damn scary. I'm not saying who's going to die tomorrow. I'm not doing that part.
No,
not doing that.
But will the
you
band
guys
get
say.
back together and play? Could be.
The singer, he's an artist. He's an artist. This is his painting. He's one of those type of guys that he won't go back to a band. He won't do it. He'll do his solo stuff and call it a day.
Okay.
He's not. He's a. There's a couple guys out there that are singers and they just like to sing. They want to be in bands, and he really extends himself. I see him as a artist, if you want to call it. This is his painting stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, write better songs then. I don't know.
That's true.
Well,
but that brings us to their last album, though. I believe this is the album that put them on the map. This is the one that everything kind of. I'm not saying it's a great album, but this is one of those albums that made them like. What is so funny?
I just looked at my notes.
What did you say? This is the worst album ever?
I was like, yeah, they brought in some heavier guitar. I'm still really bored.
You're bored a lot.
I'm pretty sure I texted JM like, this is painful.
You did. Yeah, a couple of times I did get that. And I was trying not to let that sway my judgment on these.
I know. I thought you were like listening, and I was like, ooh. I thought I had the repeat song button on, but no. What I started laughing at was the song "Love's Requiem."
Okay.
Yeah.
My note for that song is sad jerking off vibes.
You know, if you have comments about this show, put them at the bottom about what you've heard today and agree or disagree on the song. Now you got to listen to the song. Everybody needs to listen to it and be like, you know what, you're right.
How about that?
Note to self.
You know what I got out of that? You know what I got out of that? Because I wrote that down about the
About jerking off?
No.
That's jerking off.
No. I just happened to write down Love's Requiem, and the thing that I wrote down about that is that weird, like backwards.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. The whole song.
Whatever that.
Like they were
whatever
trying to
that
do
was,
like backwards record on it.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
Yeah,
like the
don't know
music
exactly.
was backwards, but the singing was normal.
It's not. Yeah.
And I wrote that down too. It's like the ending, how they played the music backwards, but they did the vocals forward. It's kind of a weird.
It's a
weird unique.
thing.
I give credit.
Yeah, no.
It didn't work though.
No, it didn't.
I just thought it was a unique thing for sure.
Yeah.
And
I think it had a good blend. It had a good blend of rock and mellow, like in the music. I gave it an 8. I think it was pretty good. I don't think it's their best, but I could see why it kind of hit that stardom. Because the vocals, to me, this was his best up to his point because he was doing the mellow stuff, but he was really, you could hear some.
there was something extra.
Something extra, and I can appreciate that. When you have that voice, why not use it, right?
Yeah. And I think what was the other song, Soul Sacrifice, where they did that staccato thing in there. I thought that was actually kind of cool. But
and like I said, this is their claim to fame album. I think so. I think this is their.
Was this the one that Bam directed a video on, or was that
I think
the
so.
next one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I don't know. To me, I could put it in Lawnmower. I can at least do that and put it in the background. I didn't skip it. What did you give it? I didn't even know.
I give it a 7.
So you gave it a 7. You gave it a 3. I gave it an 8. Man, I'm really generous. Son of a bitch. I'm getting too kind in my old age or something. I don't know. Overall, can we just agree? This band, I don't see the appeal to them. I really don't.
Nope.
I feel like they were a cookie cutout of a lot of those bands back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, this was the album that Bam Margera directed the video.
That's how. If it wasn't for Bam, they would never gotten famous. I don't think so.
At least on
He's
this
like
side of
a
the
video
ocean,
director guy.
Bam Margera from he was like Jackass.
He had his own show.
Oh, okay.
Viva la Bam.
Viva la Bam. Yep.
He would just randomly just start like beating up his dad on camera.
Yeah.
He would just start running in and just start.
Well, it started. Do you know the band CKY?
That's his brother's band, right?
Yes, the Jesse. He's the drummer. So CKY was this band back 20 years ago, whatever. They would do these backyards or whatever things, but they would do their own. As part of CKY, they started their own films or like VCR stuff and DVDs of doing pranks and doing stunts and doing everything like that. And that kind of turned into Jackass. And Jackass started with Knoxville. Bam was part of it. A lot of the crew from that part in Knoxville formed that. And that's where when Jackass was going to like the first one to the second one, Bam got his own TV show on MTV, and it became a huge thing because he was doing outlandish stuff to his family at the house, blowing stuff up.
I mean, he did the most ridiculous things.
His poor dad and his mom, But I mean, his group was part of that connection with. And Guar, remember Guar was on it too.
Yeah,
they were on the show too. They slept in the bed with his parents. They got in their suits and they jumped in bed. Odorous jumped in. So they would do outlandish stuff, but like Bam has a tattoo of that star on him. His car's purple, like how they like you know what I mean? He loved the band so much. If it wasn't for Bam, we wouldn't even be talking about him, to be honest. I really don't think so.
No.
I give him a 5. As a total, 5. That's it. One album was great. Everything else was mediocre.
Yep, you could pick a song here and there that you're like, okay, yeah, I don't want to shoot myself or slit my wrists as much, but
I'll allow it, I guess. I'll allow a 5 out of 10 average rating. Overall.
I feel like it's average. I mean, look at Lawnmower, Skip. The only one I would change is Venus. I would probably put that in A. That's the only album I would consider like it was so good to me and like I liked it or whatever. I probably erase the other ones and just keep that album, to be honest. Just erase them off the phone. Like, whatever. This is sappy shit. Too sappy for me. It's way too sappy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Double. Yeah. And that's your tier, and that's what we come up with. If you guys don't like it, tell us in the comments. I don't know anybody who knows this band, to be honest. Nobody knows this band.
I was actually talking to a guy today about our little project we're doing here, and I said, we're doing the band Him. And he's like, oh man, I haven't listened to them in like 17 years.
Get out.
Yeah.
Like he knew who it was?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, well, watch our little show later on, and
Tell us what you think. Yeah, really. Wow.
Yeah, I texted a couple of my friends, and I was like, "Did you listen to this band in high school?" And
They're like, who?
so Ashley,
Of course.
she's like, they're not for me. I'm not about it. Her husband loves the band,
Really?
like loves it. Yeah,
Really?
Huh.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. And then I messaged a couple other friends, and a lot of them were like, "Yeah, I've heard of them, but I didn't really listen to them. I know they were super popular when we were in school." And I was like, "If they were really popular, how come nobody I'm talking to is actually listening to any of their CDs?" Probably because they're all average AF at best.
I feel like they got lumped into a lot of that new rock metal that happened in the 2000s. Your Shadows Fall, your Kill Switch Engage, your Him. Like you got these bands, El Nino. You know what I mean? They kind of came in that wave of the music. You know what I mean? Even Lamb of God. I mean, they were part of that too. You know what I mean? But
yeah, okay.
to a certain, they're on the list. They're on the list. I promise. I think so. Are they? Hang on,
I hope so.
Yep, right there. There we go.
Nice.
Yep, there you go. Oh, you can't even see my cursor. There it is, and disappear. Reappear, disappear.
Finally.
So now, Shannon, I will say to you, like I tell John, if there's a band you want to put on this, we all agree, and we'll put it on here. So if you ever decide.
Wow, some of these are going to be hard to find. I'm just looking at Porcupine Tree down there. I don't know.
Do you know who they are?
Am I?
Porcupine Tree is one of those.
You need to listen to them. Gavin Harrison, the drummer, dude. They are.
He's like. They're like one of our good friend. Our good friend, like
Mr. Portnoy. Yeah,
Mr. Portnoy's one of his bands that he likes.
Their latest album that came out like 2 years ago, CC and CT or something. It's a really good album. It's very off timing. His singing is beautiful on it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Porcupine Tree.
We still got plenty of time for that.
But there we have over 300 bands here. But if there's ever, you have the right now, being here for 2 shows, which I really appreciate you being here. You have no idea. I really do. If there's ever a band, tell us. We'll put them on a list, and we'll spin the wheel to it. See, shuffle.
Okay.
See that? Shuffling. 4, 3. All right. Any more words?
So because. Oh, I was just gonna say when Jan was telling me about it, I'm like, oh, this is good because I listen to the same like 6 bands all the time. I don't know what music to listen to.
If anybody, if you're watching this, the reason I really wanted to start this, I played drums 10 plus years with a band, and 2 years ago, I tried getting back with them, and it fell through. So the lead singer has neuropathy, where he has problems with his fingers and toes. They go numb. He can't play guitar. And my bass player, Runyon, that, me and Mike, he's just life. I don't play with anybody. So I figured this is an extension. If I can't play it, I can at least talk about it. And that's the reason behind this. I am a lot more open to music now than ever before. Beforehand, it was thrash. That was it. Nothing more. Not even death metal, nothing. Now I'm listening to like, Smashing Pumpkins, which is kind of in the vein, but like Him. You ever heard of New York Dolls? Probably not. They're a glam rock band from 74, 72. We had that on the show too. So it's like all these bands that are on here. There was a documentary that he did of Tree of metal. These are all those bands.
Kind of like School of Rock's Chalkboard.
Yep. So this is what it is. But I believe a lot of times there's bands that are missing that should get recognition. So if all 3 of us agree to a band, it needs to be on that list to have its chance in the sun. Now, having 300 bands, that is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
We're going to be here for a while doing this for sure.
We got a couple years under our belt, you know. Do we need to do 2 shows in a week? Maybe. I don't know. We only get halfway through.
I mean, maybe if that was,
I don't know if we can
like,
listen
all
to all
we
the
could do.
albums.
I mean,
And
if that was all we did, maybe, but you
didn't
know.
have a date. Yeah.
But I didn't have a day job and like, you know, kids and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you never know. This could be our day job sooner or later.
You know what? And I would be
These
fine with it.
people. Oh, dude, I'd be so
I
fine
would
with
love
it.
it.
I could do this all day. I love it. I guess is coming from the musician point of view that I appreciate the art and the creativity of it because I was part of it too, creating something. And I guess it kind of blends into my ratings a lot. How I rate these albums. I really get into the nicks and crannies of the tunings, the production, the sound, and you know, I'm totally, about it. Maybe I'm jealous. It's jealousy. It's total jealousy that I can't, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean,
man.
I'm right there with you, man. I have a little bit of that too.
All right, people.
I know there were sometimes like, I wonder if like Mark doesn't make it to the show, am I gonna have to fill in? It's gonna be different, but you know, we'll get through.
Could you do this? You're like,
Make it to make it. I think it'd be a lot
Make it.
shorter.
Only one band with one album. Yeah.
This song is average. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, done. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Creator. Ooh, another German metal band.
This is the German thrash band from '83. I have their first album on a T-shirt. That's how much I've seen this band live. They're really good. They're really good. Milo, I've heard Creator in forever. This is going to be good. This is really going to be good. Creator's from Germany. They were back from '83. So in America, you have the big 4: Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. The big 4 thrash. Over in Germany, you have the big 3: Destruction, Creator, and what's the last band? Not Tank. It's another band. German thrash. Not Accept. It wouldn't be them. But they had their own big 3, big 4 thrash scene back in '83, '85. Pleasure to Kill. That's the name of the CD. That's right. Pleasure to Kill. That's a good one. Extreme. I'm not going to give it away much, but they're really good. They're really good. Yeah. So Creator. Awesome. Good. It's good.
Okay, so maybe we'll have our albums go the opposite way of him.
I can tell you this
We'll be
much.
fighting for who's on top, maybe.
I can tell you this much.
Oh, there are a lot of albums.
There are a lot of albums. They are thrash and they are fast. And his German vocals, perfect.
Now, is he singing in German or in English?
No, it's in English.
It's that broken German singing that you hear like singers, you know what I mean? Kind of like Lemmy, from Motorhead has that singing type of voice. You hear the dialect a little bit in the singing. But I'll tell you what, Creator is a good band. They don't get recognition like other bands do because they're, I guess it's one of those, oh, you're just trying to be this or trying to be that. And you know what I mean? I think they're good. I've been listening to them for a long time. I haven't listened to them in a while, but I used to listen to them a lot.
That 15 albums?
Yeah, there's a lot. 15. But
No, I just saw Limp Bizkit right there, so that's awesome.
We are not biased. There's Kitty. Kitty's on here. The Melvins
Dude,
are on there.
I do enjoy me some Kitty.
We have the Stooges. So we got some Iggy Pop. I'm telling you, we got Beastie Boys.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Dokken.
I've heard of them. Nope.
Emerson, Lake and
Not paying
Palmer.
Wow.
ELP.
Really?
Yeah. You gotta
Well,
remember back.
I
They are
guess
hard
that's
rock.
really- that's
That's
okay.
70s stuff right there, dude.
No, I'm well aware of it. I
Yep.
mean,
Jethro Tull. I mean, there's a lot.
get
There's
some
a lot of it.
get some flute action going on. Some opera going on.
You don't know shit about
Yeah,
the
because
flute.
what if this is every week?
Well,
This one might be a 2-week one here.
What, the creator?
Yeah. 15 albums in a week, bro? That's, I mean, I don't know if I could do, I mean,
Well,
I'll give it a shot.
actually, I wouldn't be able to do the show until 8 o'clock Sunday. So if you want to stretch it to 2 weeks, we can do that. That is not a problem. We'll talk amongst ourselves. But we'll end the show. Him.
Skip
I've had yeah, skip it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Venus
sure.
Doom is probably the only album that I would say give it a chance. But other than that, skip it.
Skip it. And give that Wicked Game song a chance, too.
That's true. That is a good point. I'll give you that one too. Wicked Games. Okay.
I argue give Don't Fear
No.
the Reaper 4
Nope.
minutes of your time.
No.
Give it 4 minutes of your time. Just 4 minutes.
Please.
4 minutes.
Just 4.
I think it's wildly interesting.
Well, your life's too short. Why are you going to give 4 minutes? It's too short.
It's true. It is too short.
Yeah,
I recant. I take it back. Don't even bother.
All right. Everybody say goodbye to the internet.
Bye.
Take it easy, Internet.
Bye, internet.
Bye.
See ya.
Until next time.